Here we are at the allotment. It's a fairly cold day at the end of November. I'm the only person here on the site. There's about 20 allotments here owned by the council, but it's a little bit too cold for most people, I think. And it's a good opportunity to just have a look around, and I'll explain a bit about the history of this place. We acquired this allotment 5 years ago. It's rented from the council, and it was a bit of a mess when we first got hold of it. The previous owner, I guess, had left it for about 2 years. Anyway, it was all overgrown. First thing I did, I covered everything down with tarpaulins. You can dig if you want from end to end. It'll take you weeks and weeks. That's not a bright way of doing it. Tarps just kill the weeds. I left it for 6 months and then started digging. Digging was a lot easier. Most of the smaller weeds are gone. Still the soil to turn over. So I double dug it from one end to the other, got almost to the end of the plot. And there was a great twang from my back and I slipped a disc. So that was the end of my digging, and I then decided I'd have to go for no dig. I've been no dig ever since. First thing we did when we decided to do no dig was created these raised beds. If I just kneel down a little bit, you can see they're a few inches high. It's just enough to drain things a little bit. We've got paths which are made of brick, and the beds themselves are covered with compost when they're not covered with these tarpaulins, which I use just to keep the weeds down. I say tarpaulins, they're actually weed-proof membrane, standard enough product. So what have we got in this bed? Well, some raspberries. There's not a great deal happening there at the moment. The young ones, only planted them last year. They're just starting to sprout a little bit at the base there, so we'll have some come up. Some chard planted between times. Lovely colour chard. It's a nice thing to grow through the winter. Some rhubarb. That's all died down now, not doing so much. Bit more chard at this end. There we go. A couple of compost bins. I put a thick dressing of compost every year on the beds. It's yet to have its compost dressing. Just a few little weeds to pull out before I do. Some red cabbages here. I've had the best ones. Just little ones remaining there. This bed was potatoes. They've come out straight away. They came out. I covered the bed down with a weed-proof membrane, keep the weeds down. Similar here. Purple sprouting. That'll start producing in about February time. These heads will bloom, and the broccoli will come out in a great spray at the top. Had a bad infestation of caterpillars on here. Oh, there's still one there. There he is. I took the fleece off a bit early. We've had quite a mild autumn, and I didn't know that there were still butterflies around laying eggs. Only a lemon lesson there. Bed planted out with garlic at this end, elephant garlic. Nice variety of that. The sticks and the netting are to keep cats and dogs off. We've got quite a few that like to come in and dig the beds when they've just been planted. I don't know whether they seem to detect that the soil's just been turned over, so it's easy to dig, or whether they just hate me, I don't know. Sprouts. Yeah, ready for Christmas. They got caught by the caterpillars as well. Quite a bad infestation, but it's still producing. A bit more chard. Another summer bed now covered down. This had sweet corn and French beans in. This bed has just been planted out with broad beans. Ready for next summer. They'll sprout through the winter. Now, this is what I was saying about animal damage. We've got some quite nasty diggings here. I've got sticks on, but I'm going to have to put a net over as well to completely cover the soil, because if this carries on through the winter, they'll completely dig the crop up. That'll be no good at all. And this bed is goes a cut. Yes, this bed is the current pride of the fleet, Leeks. I started these off in the greenhouse last spring, actually, and transplanted them they're doing very nicely, keeping us going through the winter. Soups, all that sort of thing. Lovely leeks. So there we go. There's the allotment.